Hi, this is Chef Mick, and we're in Cordova, Alaska. This is the nearest harbor to the Copper River and all those amazing king and sockeye salmon we get every year. Dennis Zadra lives half the year in Colorado. The other half the year he lives up here in Alaska, catching our fish and also guiding hunters. Here's Dennis's old boat. He sent us fish off of this boat for about 10 years before he bought his new boat. Here's Dennis in the red with his partner Chris Maxey. Together they send fish to Montana and Colorado. And this is the fishing fleet. The Megan Denise is named after Dennis's daughter. Fishing here requires stainless steel boats with flat bottoms and jets. This one's powered by two Chevy 350s.
Between the boat and the gear and everything else, there's not much time for sleeping this time of year.
Dennis took me along on a 72-hour opener. It's very competitive, and the fishing game flies overhead to make sure we start at precisely the right time. The first setting of the nets is at 7 p.m. We all start in the delta here where it's really murky and all the fish have piled up getting ready to enter the river. It was really exciting at first when we first laid the first net and everyone was going. It was very, very exciting, but that excitement kind of wore off because we did the same thing for 72 hours with just a couple hours sleep here and there. You drop a buoy, you back up and lower the net, you drop a buoy on the other side, and you just wait. You wait for 40 minutes to an hour at a time before you pick up the net and do it all over again. As you look down the line here, you can see the first fish we saw splashing. After the first couple of sets, we moved into some other areas and repeated and repeated. The wind was blowing very, very hard. The surf was really, really high, so we had to get in the lee of this island. The scenery is amazing, but the work is hard, it's dangerous, and it's very boring.
Just rolling southeast about 25 or 30 and no big swell, but just kind of nasty to fish out in the ocean. So came down here on the lee of this island. It's called Wingham Island. About as far east as we can fish. So we're a long way. We're 70 some miles away from Cordova right now.
Dennis takes exceptional care with his fish. Everything's live bled and then iced right away. Not all the other fishermen worry about that because you don't make more money for keeping your fish cold. While most of the fishermen use the cannery, Dennis sends his fish direct. We eliminate the middleman and he makes that extra money, so it's worth his time and trouble to do it right.
So it's been a really long extended day.
And then you've got more work to get these all in and out.
Oh, and then these have got to go to the airport. But I fortunately don't have to do that. My wonderful wife and Heather generally go and do that.
His wife Alicia meets him at the dock with the scales and the boxes and the ice. They pack the fish immediately. She takes it right to the airport. We'll have this fish at Tony's the following afternoon. The first couple weeks of the season, the canneries will also air freight. But for the rest of the year, they put them on these containers and barge them to Anchorage or Seattle, where a middleman will buy them and then ship them to the rest of the world. With the exception of the first 2 weeks of the season, our fish are consistently 7 to 9 days fresher than anyone else's. Half to 3/4 of the fish do get bruises and some slight body damage. Dennis only sends us the prime fish. The remainder of the fish he'll take to the smokehouse. These fish are all cured while they're fresh, and then they're smoked and hand-packed into these jars. The jars are then moved to a steam oven where they're sealed tight and perfectly safe on the shelf for up to a year. Thanks to our friendship with Dennis, we're the first market in Colorado to have Copper River salmon. And consistently every year we have the best supply week in and week out. Dennis also ships us halibut in season. We do buy some wild salmon from a few other sources such as the Yukon River in the same fashion where it's shipped direct overnight. We also handle British Columbia farm-raised salmon, and I personally traveled to the fish farms to understand and review their safety, and they are an exceptional product that we can have for you when wild salmon is just not available. Thanks for shopping with us.